Session number 12, which is actually the last session, the last complimentary session for A1 level students. This is the agenda. You can have paused the video and go through the agenda in detail, but I'll just tell you. So because this is the 12th session, we will just try to practice whatever we have learned so far. And also I will introduce you to a few more concepts. For example, the usage of the word doc. So how you can use it to answer questions which are asked in a rhetorical way. Then we will look at the phrases es gibt, da ist or da sind. Then we will look at the conjunctions sondern and außer. And then of course homework, we will go through it. Let us start. This is the disclaimer. You know what this is about. If not, please go through it. This is the 12th session, so this is the timeline. This is a request from me for all of you. So you have been sending me your homework emails. So please make my life easier. And the subject of your homework emails should be in this way. For example, you can write homework, then vertical line, then session number. So let's say if you send me homework after this session, so it will be session number 12, then vertical line, and then your first name. If you think your first name is too common, you can also add the initials of the last name. All right. Why do you need to know the word doc? So as you already know, there can be many kinds of questions, but there are two main varieties of questions. The first variety is W kind of questions, so who, when, what, where, how, which. And then you also have yes or no kind of questions. By yes or no, I mean the questions are asked in such a way that the answer is either yes or no, primarily. So let's say if I ask you, let's say you and I, we are both colleagues, and in the office we are both colleagues, and we usually go for lunch together. And it's usually that one of us gets ready and comes to the other one and asks, are you coming? Right? So let's say it's one of those situations, and I come to you and I ask, are you coming? So I can ask that in this way, kommst du mit? So by now you should know how to write this sentence, kommst du mit? So your answer can be ja. By the way, I am talking about this sentence at the top left. So your answer can be yeah, yes. Or let's say your answer can be no. So you can also say no. Let's look at the other kind of question. Let's say if I ask you, have you eaten? Hast du gegessen? Your answer can be no, or it can be yes. Let's say if I ask you the question in a negative way. By negative way, I mean if I ask you, have you done something? Have you not done something? So, or are you not doing something? For example, the third sentence on the left is kommst du nicht mit? It means, are you not coming, or are you not coming along? So you can say yes or no. Let's say, so I am asking you, are you not coming along? And you say no. That means you are not coming. But if your answer is yes, I am coming, but you cannot just say yes. So ideally in German language you should say doch. So doch, ich komme mit. So what you should remember from this slide is, whenever the question is asked in a negative way and the answer is positive, so you should, instead of saying ja, use the word doch. So doch, ich komme mit. Let's look at another example. So on the right side you have kannst du schwimmen? Can you swim? Answer can be yes, or the other answer can be no. Third question is again asked in a negative way. Kannst du nicht schwimmen? So can you not swim? If the answer is no, then you can just say nein, and then you can say ich kann nicht schwimmen. But if the answer is yes, so I'm asking you, can you not swim? But you want to say yes, I can swim. So if you say ja, ich kann schwimmen, it's fine, but it's just grammatically not correct. So the correct way to say this, answer this question is doch, ich kann schwimmen. There's a spelling mistake in the word schwimmen. I hope it's fine. Okay, next sentence. Let's say, quite recently this has been in the news that India is on the moon. How do you write this sentence in German? So think about it. The sentence is based in the present tense. We have the subject as India, it's a country. Then the object is the moon. And also you will need some kind of preposition to say on. So something is on something. So we covered this already in the previous sessions. Let's see how we can start writing this in German. So moon in German is Mond, and it happens to be masculine, so der Mond. Then the verb to be or is in German is sein, and this is the conjugation table for it. So for ich it's bin, then du bist, ist, sie ist, and for ihr it's seid. For every other pronoun it's sein. Now to be on something, so for this is how you say it: auf etwas Dativ sein. This means you will use the verb sein and you will use the preposition auf, and what comes after auf, that object, must be in its dative format. So ETW stands for etwas and DAT dot stands for dative. Okay, so also we are here in this sentence, the article that we use for moon is the, so der Mond, and it happens to be definite article, and we know we need to use the moon will be in dative case. So here we need the conjugation table for definite articles. So here you have it. So moon happens to be masculine, so we will use masculine definite article for dative, which happens to be dem. It is in the third column and the third row. So we will start writing the sentence now. At the very second place you will have the verb, and it must be conjugated with respect to the subject. Subject is Indian. So if you think about Indian as in terms of pronoun, it is, you are talking about indirectly about something, right? So it will be either s or z. So you are talking about something third party. So it must be conjugated with respect to Indian, and here it will be ist. So Indian ist. Then the preposition auf. What comes after auf is must be in dative case. So the object is Mond, and the article we are using for Mond is definite article, and Mond is masculine, so dem. Alright, the answer is Indian ist auf dem Mond. Next sentence: you took part in the 12 even German sessions. This sounds complicated to translate in German, but it's actually not. Let's see how we can do it. Sessions, you can just say these sessions. To take part in something, the verb for that is teilnehmen, and to take part in, so you cannot use in German, you have to use over here in this context an. So the correct verb and preposition will be an etwas dative teilnehmen. So what comes after an, that object must be in dative case. And here the sentence is based in past tense, so took, it's not take, you took part. So you will use, there are two options. You can write the sentence using preteritum or participe zwei. We will go with participe zwei. You know, when you use participe zwei, you will need a helping verb. It's either sein or haben. In this case, haben is more appropriate. So here is the conjugation table for it. Then also, you already know in the verb, an etwas dative teilnehmen, so the object will be in dative case, and here if you look at the sentence, it's saying you took part in the 12 even German sessions, so you will be using definite article. So you have the definite article, the table for definite article for nominative, accusative and dative cases, and of course for either for masculine, feminine, neutral and plural. Here it is plural because we are talking about sessions, so it will be den, the article will be den. Let's start at the second position. We will have the verb, which must be conjugated with respect to the subject, which is du. So the correct verb here will be hast, du hast. Then when we are writing a sentence in past using participe zwei, the actual verb goes to the last position and you have to use the participe zwei form of that verb. So the verb is teilnehmen and its participe zwei is teilgenommen. Then you start with the preposition du hast an. What comes after an must be in dative format, dative case. So here the object is 12 A1 Deutsch sessions, and the article is definite and it's plural, so it's den. Alright, here's the answer. Du hast an den 12 A1 Deutsch sessions teilgenommen. Next sentence is I took the bus number 144. This is, most of us commute, and so let's say if someone asks you how did you reach here, then you have to tell how did you reach there. Or if you want to just tell someone, which bus they have to take, then if you know how to say I take or I took the bus number 144, you can also say you take the bus number 144 when you are guiding someone how to reach somewhere. Let's see how we can write this in German. So bus, it's der Bus. Then here again the sentence is based in past format, so I took. So, and we will be writing this past tense sentence in using participle zwei, so you will need the helping verb, and the correct helping verb over here is haben. So yes, the conjugation table for it, I have already highlighted habe because here we are using I, which is ich, so ich habe. Then to take, again there can be many different German verbs which mean take, but here the most appropriate one is nehmen. But anyhow, you will be using only its participle zwei, which is genommen. Here is the table for personal pronouns or pronouns for each of these cases, namely nominative, accusative, and dative. But we need only the nominative one, so ich. Also, here the object is bus, and we are using definite article the. Also, here it will be in accusative case because nehmen, when you say nehmen, it signifies some kind of an action, and when the verb is signifying some kind of an action, the object is usually in accusative format, or it must be in accusative case. Let's start writing the sentence. At the second position you will have the verb conjugated. It must be conjugated with respect to the subject, which is ich, so ich habe. Then at the last position you will have the participle zwei format of the actual verb, which is genommen. Then the object is Bus Nummer 144, and the correct article should be in accusative form case, which is den. So the answer is ich habe den Bus Nummer 144 genommen. Next sentence, you change at the stop Potsdamer Platz. Again, let's say if you tell someone, you take the bus 144 or some other bus, and then you have to tell them you have to get down or you have to change the bus at this stop. How can you say this in German? So the word for stop, the most appropriate word for stop here in this scenario is die Haltestelle. And to change, here when I say change, I'm talking about changing the train or the transport vehicle that you're traveling with. So here the correct verb is umsteigen. Please understand, also remember that this is a trennbare verb. So this is the conjugation table for it. Ich steige du steigst sie steigt ihr steigt This ... to represent that is that when you are using this in a sentence, you just move the prefix to the last position and you only conjugate the rest of the verb. And for every other personal pronoun, you use it in infinitive form. So steigen This is again the table for personal pronoun. Here when you use umsteigen, so here you will be using a preposition, and for that preposition, what comes after that, it will be in accusative format. So you need to know the accusative case for feminine bestimmte Artikel, which is die. So you start writing the sentence. At the second position you have the verb, which must be conjugated with respect to the subject, which is du. So du steigst. At the last position you will have the prefix of the verb, so Then the correct preposition over here is an. What comes after here must be in dative case, so Haltestelle. And the correct preposition, I think there was a mistake in the table. Yeah, so here what comes after an must be in dative format. I apologize for that. So what comes after, it makes more sense, an. So du steigst an der Haltestelle Yes. Yeah, so this table is not complete. The table on the left about definite articles. So you also need the column for dative, but I believe by now you know that it is der Haltestelle. And then you can add the name of the Haltestelle, that is Potsdamer Platz. So the complete sentence, I will read it again. Du steigst an der Haltestelle Potsdamer Platz Then you get on at the stop Berliner Platz. Let's say if you want to say, you walk till there and then you board the train or you get on the train at the stop. How can you say this? So again, the word for stop is die Haltestelle. To get in, the word is einsteigen. If you are already in Germany, you must be noticing that they already always have this note signs on in platforms or and trains, einsteigen, aussteigen, or they also you will see this at many places, einsteigen, aussteigen. Then it's also a trennbare verb, so to change it is umsteigen, to get on it's einsteigen. Here is the conjugation table, so ich steige dot 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 ein, du steigst, sie steigt, ihr also it's the same, steigt. For every other personal pronoun it will be steigen. So you just use the verb in its infinitive form. Here is the table for personal pronoun. Please ignore the highlighted portions. That is a mistake. Please just ignore. So you only need do because you're saying you, and I assume you can be informal with this person. So you don't need to use the capital SZ. You can just use do. So also again, yeah, here the table is correct. So here you need the dative, definite article for feminine, that is Haltestelle. So it will be there. By the way, when you don't have to say there. You can just say there. You will notice people don't pronounce the R part. They don't emphasize on the R part. They'll just say there. Let's start with the sentence. At the second position, you will have the verb which is conjugated with respect to the subject. Du steigst. Then the prefix at the last position. An is the preposition. Of what comes after an must be in dative format. The object is Haltestelle, definite article in dative case. For feminine is there. Then of course Berliner Platz, name of the stop. So the sentence, I will read it. Du steigst an der Haltestelle Berliner Platz ein. Let's see. You get on at the stop Bamler Straße. By the way, it's actually the sentence in English is wrong. So I actually wanted to say you get off the train at the stop Bamler Straße, or you leave the train at the stop Bamler Straße. So yes, so to get, again the word for stop is the same, die Haltestelle, and to get off the train or to leave the train, the verb is aussteigen. To get on is einsteigen, to change is umsteigen, to get off is aussteigen. This should be obvious. I'll just give you the sentence. So du steigst an der Haltestelle Bamler Straße. Okay, there's too many mistakes in this slide. Yeah, so it should be Bamler Straße. Please, I hope you're not thinking that Bamler Straße in English becomes Berliner Straße in German. This is a mistake. Alright, this is something new you will learn in this session, and that is the phrase es gibt. Why do you need this? Quite often in English you are saying sentences like there is or there are, right? So to say that, you use the phrase es gibt, and what comes after es gibt must be in accusative case. And that is what the slide is giving you. So let's say I want to say there are 424 sessions for the A1 course. So you will say es gibt 24 sessions für den A2 course. Then you can also ask what is there for dinner. So you will ask was gibt es fürs Abendessen. By the way, fürs is fürs is just a short form of für das. So you can say für das, but quite often you will hear people just say fürs. So answer can be es gibt, so there is pizza and cola. Now then you will hear this quite a lot when trains get delayed. I have heard this. Das gibt's doch nicht. So here the meaning is different. You have to understand the context. I have normally heard people say this when they are irritated at some situation that they are encountering. So let's say if the trains are delayed, people just really get angry. They say, das gibt's doch nicht, das gibt's doch nicht. Quite often it means unbelievable, or I cannot accept it. Then quite often also people who are close to you, you will hear they will ask was gibt's instead of saying wie geht es dir or alles klar. So it just means, what's new or what is there. So here the meaning is different. So here es gibt, you used to frame sentences like there is, there are, or what is there. But here the meaning is was gibt's means what's going on. Then also people ask was gibt's Neues, what's new. Then you can ask, let's say you're in a supermarket and there is something that you cannot find and you want to ask, is this thing available in the supermarket? Then you can say you can ask gibt es. The spelling is wrong. It's H-I-E-R. So this is incorrect, but I hope you can, it's obvious to you. So gibt es here, and then the object will be in accusative case. Okay, so gibt es here, whatever you are looking for. Next sentence. Also, so quite often people talk about past and there was. So you can, the past tense of gibt in preteritum form is gab. So as gab, and what comes after is accusative. Let's say you go to your office party, or there is a regional meeting and some colleague did not go, and the colleague next day calls you and asks, hey, what was there? What was there in the lunch or dinner? So you can say, es gab pizza and cola. There was pizza and cola. Or some, let's say, I don't know when you will ask this, but someday, let's say if you want to ask what was there for dinner, so yeah, was, instead of saying was gibt es fürs Abendessen, you can say was gab es fürs Abendessen. This blue banner, rectangle banner, is just telling you für das can be written as fürs, an dem can be written as am, in dem can be written as in das can be written as ins. Then the phrase da ist, da sind, when do you need this? Imagine this, somebody asks you, let's say you are sitting in a park and someone asks you, is there a coffee shop nearby, or is there a konditorei nearby, so, and you can just, where this is, and you just point and say, yeah, there it is, right? There is a coffee shop. So you can say that in this way. So da ist, so if what you are saying is the object is singular. If it is plural, then you can say da sind, and what comes after this is usually nominative. So yeah, the examples are wrong, so I'll just continue. Yeah, this is again a practice. So let's say if you want to say I don't drink cola, but rather instead, so you can say I don't drink cola but Pepsi, or you want to say I don't drink cola, rather Pepsi, or you can say I don't drink cola, instead Pepsi. So how you can say this? For this you need a new kind of conjunction. So it's ich trinke Cola nicht, sondern Pepsi. Another example, by the way, yeah, sondern, when you think of sondern, if you want to think of it in terms of mathematics, you can say not A but B, So the sentence before comma is A and the sentence after comma is B. So ich trinke Cola nicht, sondern Pepsi. So not cola, but Pepsi. But it's not aber. So here you have to use sondern. Okay. So when you think of sondern, think of rather or instead of from English. This is another conjunction that you learned today. Then another conjunction is außer. So let's say you go to a shop and you just want to ask, like on which days they are open. So the restaurant owner or the place owner, shop owner can say we are always open except on Sunday. So to say except in German, the word is außer. So wir haben immer auf, außer am Montag. By the way, the verb aufhaben that I have used over here, this is used colloquially. So now, the shop owner can also say wir sind immer geöffnet, but aufhaben is more colloquial, at least in the area that I live in Germany. So it's aufhaben, so to have open. Okay. Then this is not a TV but a monitor. Again, another example of not A but B. So the correct conjunction is sondern. Dies ist kein Fernseher, sondern ein Monitor. Again, what comes after ist or sein is nominative. This is also nominative. Alright. I am not a night owl, but an early bird or an early riser. How can you say this? Ich bin keine Nachteule, sondern ein Frühaufsteher. Another example of not A but B. So again, another way to say the same thing is ich bin kein Nachtschwärmer, sondern ein Frühaufsteher. Everything except the onions. When have I heard this? Quite often in the doner shop, people, when they offer doner or falafel tasche, doner tasche, and usually the owner of that shop will ask, what all should I put as toppings? So people usually say everything except the onions, or everything except some or the other kind of vegetable. So you can say this by saying alles außer den Zwiebel. Please notice what comes after außer is in dative format. So Zwiebel is here we are talking about plural. So Zwiebel is plural. So we have to use plural dative article or plural dative bestimmter article. So it is den. So alles außer den Zwiebel. Next sentence, the A2 sessions are starting on 4th September. How do you say this? It's quite easy. So you start with the subject, die A2 sessions. Starting, the correct verb in this context is beginnen, and then the preposition is am. It's actually an dem, 4. September. Okay? And sorry, it's vierten. Yeah, it's vierten because it is dative. I don't think I have covered this. Maybe this is good. I'll remember this and cover this in the upcoming sessions of A2, or maybe in the upcoming sessions of A1. Why it's vierten and not vierter. Okay, then another sentence is the sessions are on every Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Sunday. So you can say this. The sessions sind, the preposition is an, and then it's dative, so an dem, but you can say an de am instead of an dem. So the sessions sind am. Every, you can say jeden, Montag, Mittwoch. The spelling is wrong for Donnerstag. It's Donnerstag and not Donnerstag. And Sonntag, und Sonntag. Next sentence, the sessions are on Monday, Wednesday, and Sunday from 5:30 to 6:30 p.m. Why I am giving you these examples is quite often we are talking about when is something, on which day, from which day to which day, from what time to what time to what time. So this is why these examples are important. So these sessions sind am Montag, Mittwoch, Donnerstag und Sonntag von bis, so from to, so von 17:30 bis 18:30. Then these sessions are from 5:30 p.m. to 6:30 p.m. except on Sunday. How you can say this? Remember here except, so you will have to use the conjunction außer. So these sessions sind von 17:30 bis 18:30 außer Sonntag. Then on Sunday the session is from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. Again you need the preposition for on and the prepositions for from to. So for on is am. It's actually an, but you will say an. What comes after an is must be dative, and Sonntag is der Sonntag, masculine, and here it's dative, so it's an dem Sonntag becomes am Sonntag. Gibt es, so the session is, gibt es die Session von 9 Uhr bis 10 Uhr. What you can do is, you already, I think in the beginning we went through examples how you can tell someone to go from one place to another, how which train they should take or bus they should take, and where they should get down and then hop on again. Try to describe this route, and this is part of your homework. So I am at Heisengen and I want to go to Saravana Bhavan in Cologne. How you can tell me which where to get on, where to get off, and where to change trains. Yes, this is the homework. Few more homework. Please add the new words to your vocabulary notebook. Then please, there were many sentences for practice in this session. Please rewrite each of them by doing a few things, few modifications, by changing the subject. So if the subject was ich, you can do it for du, sz and ia, and capital sz and small sz meaning they. Then also change the object. You can, so there was a sentence where it said everything except the onions, so you can change from onions to some other vegetable or topping that you don't like in your falafel sandwich or doner sandwich. Then also change the tense of the sentence. So if it is present, make it past with participe zwei. If it was past with participe zwei, write it again in present tense. Please try to, you learned a few more conjunctions today. For example, sondern and außer. Please try to write sentences using these conjunction, and the sentences should be relevant to your daily life, meaning they should be describing your daily life.